Welcome back, everyone, to Let's Play Spy Fiction. Last time, things took a turn for the worse for our Phantom Agents, as we found out exactly what Lauder does, but we were also found out by Kelly Wong, followed by Dietrich Troy, followed by a mysterious man in a beret, who knocked us out. And, as I mentioned last time, the previous two villains that have been established so far are dead. Forrest Kaysen, betrayed by Kelly Wong, then Kelly Wong, betrayed by Dietrich Troy, apparently. We don't really know why Wong killed Kaysen and then Troy killed Wong, but I guess that's just the way things go in Enigma. So we found ourselves held captive in an outdoorsy, jungle-looking area. It's pretty run down, very different from the environments we found ourselves in before, and all of our items have been taken away. Though fortunately, they left us with our sneaking suit, because that couldn't possibly be useful to us. Well, I suppose we should have a look through that window and see what those guys are talking about.
Open up, amigo. You're new to this hell we call Dante's Inferno, muchacho.
Yeah, just joined up.
Are you ready for combat? You better be.
The general is planning an attack soon?
This war will be hell. Escape if you can.
I wanna fight. It's time to feed this gringo. Come on, get it over with.
I'll have to wake him up first. He has been out for 3 days.
Make him beg for it, man.
Him? Really? Couldn't record new dialogue?
What's going on here? The prisoner's gone.
I checked his cell 5 minutes ago. How could he escape?
And our very observant guards will just stand there forever, looking at the walls. But is that how Billy Bishop would have handled that situation? I don't think he would have hid.
Enjoy your meal. What's the matter with you? Have you lost your appetite? Do you think it's funny? This is no joke, hombre. Hombre, come here. This one's got an attitude.
Don't be a fool, my friend. Prisoners must not insult the guards. We have our way of keeping prisoners in line.
Let me do it, amigo.
Alright, so we don't have any weapons, but of course we can still use our barehanded melee attacks. This really is not much of a fight, though he does have a gun. If we stay up close to him, he won't actually shoot it at us. You have to get some distance for that to happen. So either way you want to do it, it's going to come out to the same thing. Both guards will be indisposed for whatever reason, and we get to run out. Not too difficult, though I don't know why we couldn't have just, Hold on. Yeah, some garbology in here, even though no one knows that we're here. So items and garbology have been left behind. And actually, one of the garbologies here does let us... hold on. One of the garbologies here does let us know that Dante's Inferno is in Colombia. So that's where we are. And if we remember from the conversation between Kaysen and Wong, we know her secret biochemical plant is in Colombia as well. And that's where they're producing lauder. So this could actually be an opportunity for us. Let's hide from that guard before he heads over here. Right, so again, we do have to be a bit careful, since we have no weapons or items, aside from what we just picked up. Our weapons that we've been picking up throughout the previous levels have been taken from us. Alright, since we don't have our camera, we can't actually disguise ourselves, so maybe this'll do. Maybe this'll act as an impromptu disguise. From a distance, I suppose it looks like a guard walking around. Maybe no one will notice. See, that guy up ahead, he's just walking around minding his own business like nothing's wrong. Just calmly walk by him. Not sure if Billy knows any Spanish.
What? Intruder! Alert!
What? Intruder? Where? Right, where's the intruder? Let's go find him. You and me. Well, that went as well as it could have gone, I think.
The intruder has escaped. All teams, search the area.
There's one more guard up above us, but he doesn't seem to see us right now. So let's just take these items and head on out before he does notice us. Except the door's locked. So we have to find a way over that wall. Maybe that wasn't the best method. We could also have tried it like this. Since we're running on dirt, the guards can't actually hear us. Never mind that loud clanking of us going up the ladder. You can't hear that either. But there is another guard up here. And since we're on metal, if we were to run on this surface, they would hear that. So we're going to have to be a bit more careful. He's looking at us right now. Though he is a guard in a stealth action game, so his vision is terrible. See, he's walking away. And the big problem is that sentry gun up there. Kind of difficult to see that laser. So we're going to have to try this and hope he's too far away to hear it. Yep. Okay, that worked. If he was closer, he would have heard us land on the metal. Gotta watch out again. Another laser sight right there. It's very difficult to see those for some reason right now. Maybe because of the texture it's up against, the fence. But they can screw you up pretty good. So okay, great. We made it above that wall. That guard down there, never even noticed. We could knock the lock off the door here, but why bother? So yeah, the environment is very different from what we were seeing before. We're not in an enclosed hallway section. Now we're in the outdoors, enclosed by walls keeping us from the jungle. So I guess it comes out to not really much of a difference, but at least it's a nice change of scenery. Two guards talking over there. Now how do we get past them? There is a thing we can shimmy on above us. However, if we try that, they'll see us, which is kind of strange because you might think that's a solution. But first, let's try to get close up enough so we can hear what they're talking about. Yes, if we're
Getting tired.
yeah, everyone's getting real tired. Even in Colombia, people are getting tired and talking in different accents. Oh yeah, if we actually walk in a bush like we did there, they can hear that. But if we crouch in a bush, they will not. And somehow this is not close enough to hear what they're talking about. So, sneak forward a little bit.
My mother-in-law's coming to visit.
Yeah?
I'm gonna take her for a walk.
That's nice.
Right through the minefield. Boom! Adios!
Maldito!
The accents in this game are pretty great. But anyway, I would usually, with Sheila, try to think of a real stealthy way to get past them. But I can't really think of one. So let's just use this thing we picked up. That's good enough. But they did let us know that there is a minefield up ahead. We will have to deal with that a little bit. One more guard, but his back is to us, so let's do a little scorpion claw. Oh, hold on. Meant to unequip that. Alright, I ended up with the same result anyway. So, more laser sights to avoid, and since we don't have our gun, I should mention we can't actually shoot out the power boxes, so we have to deal with them just by dodging around. And if we were sighted by one of those laser scopes, that door would lock right there, which has happened to me. This is a bit that kind of confused me. I don't think it's very obvious, but what do you think? It says that something's disconnected, and we see this square that is sparking a little bit. Looks like something has to go there, right? You know? If this was a Resident Evil game, maybe a battery. I would think so anyway. Let's take a look at that a little bit later. Right now, we found our equipment.
Thank God you're all right. We lost contact with you. You've been out for 3 days. They probably drugged you. According to the radar signal, you're in the jungles of southern Colombia. You're being held in Dante's Inferno, a frontline guerrilla base. The CIA's been dying for an excuse to take it out. The Lardo biochemical plant is near Dante's Inferno. If you can locate it, the CIA will finally get its chance. I know you've just come to, but this is an emergency. Check out the facility. Samuel is on his way to the base at this moment. He's informed of your status and will be on the lookout for you. Your task is to get from the jungle to the frontline HQ. However, it's surrounded by a minefield. Use extreme caution. If you're not fully prepared, you're done for. Watch the soldiers on patrol to find the safest route in. Oh yes, Nicholas is still MIA. His nanoprobe's vital signs show that he's definitely alive. Be on the lookout. He may be in the area. You've got a tough task ahead. Good luck, Phantom. Do you understand your mission?
Mm-hmm. Get to the chemical plant. Find Nick.
About the man who killed Kelly Wong on the airship. His name is Dietrich Troy, a.k.a. the Mastermind. He's involved in terrorist activities around the world. We know he's linked to Enigma, but he's always eluded us. He's a cold-blooded killer, a vicious criminal of the worst kind. One thing's for certain, he's a very real threat. Please be careful.
Alright, so that's our formal introduction to Dietrich Troy. Is that backwards? Yeah, it was backwards. We've gotten a mission now. Find that chemical plant, and keep a lookout for Nicholas, because he was on the Metropolis when it went down. As for this again, what do we have to do with that? Well, it needs electricity. We do have something that can output electricity. The stun shaver. I don't think there's anything that states that would work. That kind of confused me for a bit. I don't think it's that obvious.
I was worried about you. I'll be your support until Nicholas shows up. Leave the jungle and find the frontline HQ.
Okay, Samuel's here to back us up. And that is an Enigma flag. We do recognize that logo from before. And anyway, we're trying to get to the chemical plant. We're also trying to find Nicholas, because he's not checked in yet. So maybe he is still held captive somewhere.
Soldier. Senor?
There's a swamp on the far side of the jungle. It's off limits. The natives say it's bottomless, a tribal superstition. But the weird thing is, no one who goes in comes out.
Really, senor?
So in addition to the minefield, there's also a bottomless swamp. And that door is locked. If we tried to break that lock, they would hear us. So we're going to have to neutralize those guys. First, maybe we want to take a picture, though, to get some disguise data, since we don't actually have any yet. What? He's still alive.
Roger. Alert all areas. We have an intruder.
Oh. No one came when that guy yelled for help. That's kind of sad. Anyway, they're out of the picture, so we can break that lock as soon as we just break all these boxes and find out what's in them. So like I said, we don't actually know why what happened on the Metropolis happened. Kelly Wong killed Kaysen. That seems like a bad idea, considering there's probably only a handful of people on the planet who know how Lauder work, and Kaysen was one of them, and working with them. And that is a well-fitting headband. And our idle animation is to read a newspaper for some reason. That's what gorillas do. But yeah, Kaysen died, I guess to emphasize the deadliness of Lauder, to make a better demonstration. But I mean, Kaysen seems like the worst person to kill. Because you might need someone who knows something about the virus, even though it's already been made, and
All squadrons, return to position.
I guess they now can mass produce it. But still, it's not like any of them are biochemists. Though we do know that Dr. Coleman is somewhere here, because Kaysen did say that he sent Coleman to Columbia to get Coleman out of the way. And that Coleman would be somewhere in the biochemical plant. Alright, so this is that supposedly bottomless swamp that those guys were talking about. I'm sure that's just an urban myth, a local legend. We'll just try to walk through it, and I'm sure nothing bad's gonna happen. It does slow us down a lot, so we can try to jump through it. And that works pretty well. Except when we get too deep, it doesn't work so well. I'm sure he'll be alright. You know, Billy Bishop's tough. He's a survivor. He can get out of that. You may notice a parachute hanging from a tree up there, and there's a spinning briefcase next to it. One of the Garbologies said that they airdropped in something for us, but it got caught on a tree. So, that's sinking. So, we might want to get up to that platform so we can see what was sent down. And yeah, turret's even here. I don't know where the electricity's coming from. I guess that power box must have a battery in it. Bottomless swamp is no big deal, just jump around the platforms. They sink after a few seconds, but it's really not difficult at all. Right, so anyway, Wong killed Kaysen. Then after that, there was that standoff between Wong, Troy, and Sheila, or Billy, if we were playing as Billy, which ended with Wong, looked like she was going to be able to stab Sheila, but then Troy shot her. And then we were knocked out by a mysterious man wearing apparently military clothing, who had some fancy-looking rifles.
The invaluable mine detector. It locates buried mines. It'll get you through a minefield in no time. You're definitely gonna need this.
Well, I have to say he is right. That will come very handy. as we go into the minefield. It's not the only way to get through the minefield. There is another way we'll be looking at, but that really is the best way. As I was saying, Troy killed Wong. And I guess that's just how things work in Enigma. There's probably a lot of turnover in that organization, considering the higher-ups are all killing one another.
That's the minefield ahead. Move out when you're ready. Watch the soldiers' movements and be extremely careful.
The reason Samuel says to watch the soldiers' movements is because if we did not get the mine detector, we can also work our way through this by watching the soldiers. They leave footprints, and they know where the mines are, so they'll walk around them. If we just follow their footprints, we can get through fine. But we do have our own way of finding the mines now, since we do have the detector. We just put it on, and this happens. There are quite a few mines in the field, but now we can avoid them. Just want to try to get between the orange glowies. Yes, yes, you see me. I'm standing right here. Made a sound in a bush. Must be getting tired.
Must be getting tired.
There is a third way of doing this. We make our own mine detector. This is the way Billy Bishop likes. Is there a mine right there? Yes, there was!
Intruder! Alert! Roger.
Now, these guys are tough. They can survive several explosions, so don't worry about them.
There you go.
And just a few mine eliminations here, and we can work our way all the way through without incident.
Resisted.
However, there is one other thing we want to do before we leave here. Yeah, I was looking through here for the tow blade. I wanted to try it, but I don't see it there. Maybe I lost it. That's a shame, because we didn't actually get to use it.
Contact with one of ours.
Anyway,
All squadrons, maintain post.
there's a briefcase over there. I do want to get that, but I don't want to go through those mines. Really? Alright, that wasn't the best way to handle it. The mines hurt us a lot more than it hurts these guys. I'm not sure if there is a pathway... Okay, that didn't work. I'm not sure if there was a pathway to the briefcase aside from doing this. Though I suppose we could just take our disguise off and jump over the mines to it. Might as well do this. There we go.
That's body armor. It reduces firearm impact. It uses Spy Safe, a miracle fabric developed by yours truly. It could save your butt, literally. Admit it, I'm a genius.
It does take a genius to think of body armor, I do admit that. But the body armor is very useful. You only have the one disguise and it's wanted right now. But yeah, as it says, the body armor will reduce damage by 50%. So it definitely was something we wanted to get.
There's a high-voltage fence around HQ. One zap, you go home with the body bag. Don't get near it until you're ready. Find a place where you can look out over the base. Use the 3DA camera for recon. Get a good look inside. Find the safest way in, then move out.
Alright, we made it to the frontline HQ, but it is surrounded by electrical fence. So we do have to find a way inside. Like Samuel said, we want to get up to a lookout. We did see a few inside the base. But how do we reach in there? So the front gate's closed, but there is a ladder going up. Another gate down here, but also closed. And over here is a small minefield. A couple of crates at the other end of it. How do you suppose we'll get through that? Or we could just do the smart way and use the mine detector. There is a clear path all the way through. We don't actually have to blow anything up. You know, thinking about it, it seemed like it might be a bad move for Enigma to bring one of the Phantom agents to where their biochemical plant is located, where they're developing the virus that is central to their plans. I don't know, it seems like that might be a little foolish, yes? And what happened to everyone who was on board the Metropolis? Because there are a lot of people on that blimp. After Kelly Wong was killed, did they just bring the blimp straight here and just murder everyone aboard? We can hear someone walking around, so we do want to be a little careful. Okay, clear path to the lookout. Now that we made it up here, what is around that may catch our interest? There are a couple lookouts. Now there's that guy who was walking around. I suppose that's one thing we could do, but we don't really need to. What we want to pay attention to is that there is a large window at that building over there, and it looks like there's someone standing in front of the window.
That's Douglas Lysander. He's a Green Beret hero. Why is he here? On their side, this mission just got a whole lot harder.
Lysander. Have we heard that name before? Yeah, I believe we have. It's this guy. He's not here to sell us a car this time, though. So we'll get some disguised aid of Dietrich while we're here. But yeah, it's the General. So we get to find out what the General was up to before he retired to Greenvale to run a junkyard. Maybe he'll have some old war stories to tell us.
Dietrich Troy wants the shipment ready tonight. Everything's going to Germany.
Mm-hmm. And what's this that's going to Germany now? Okay, that didn't go out so well. What? No! Unfortunately, we stunned him before he was able to get the word out. But yeah, it sounds like something's going to Germany. The prologue in the game, I think that took place in Austria, was that right? It was a castle in Austria. So, it's very close by. What shipment are they talking about? Well, we do know that the biochemical plant that makes Lauder is here, so we might assume that they have a shipment ready to go. And since they killed off Kaysen, that might also imply that they have completed a batch. There's a dirt road here. I assume that the General's Jeep went along it, but that door is locked, so let's find another way out. There are a couple ways we can go. Let's take the high route. The low route is just basically avoiding some laser turrets. The high route, we could do this again, like at Nanotech Dine. These things still don't kill in one hit. Well, in Deadly Premonition, they did imply that the General had a lot of wartime experience. Samuel did just call him a legend. But in Deadly Premonition, the General was retired. He was quite old. The only thing he did was sit around in his junkyard and fix cars and tell stories. So we're gonna get to see the man in action this time. In his maybe not younger days, but he does seem a little bit younger than he was in Greenvale.
This shipment of missiles has arrived. After their armed, we're going to begin an insurrection.
Insurrection? Against who? And I thought the shipment was on its way to Austria. Germany, they said, not Austria. So the castle was in Austria. But the shipment's going to Germany. Well, I guess we'll find out later. But it is nice to have a change of atmosphere from the more developed settings that we've seen so far, such as Nanotech Dine and the Crime Blimp.
All clear. All squadrons, return to position.
Now, as we look across this bridge, we'll notice that there are some people standing there. Let's get a closer look. Oh yeah, there he is. General's over there. So we've caught up with him. Let's go see what they're talking about over there, but, cameras. Let's also try to get a shot of him from the side. Without the face data. Yeah. Just about there. Yeah, got it.
Where is Herr Dietrich? I've got better things to do than to wait here. You got a problem, maggot? I eat undisciplined slobs like you for breakfast, you scumbag! What is it?
The prisoner has escaped from his cell, sir.
He was gone when we brought his food, sir. Idiots! What are you doing here, then?
To report the escape, sir.
The escape, sir? Well then, that's the last meal these two will ever serve. Don't just stand there. Search for the prisoner. Immediately.
Yes, sir.
I'll be waiting inside. Show Dietrich in when he comes.
Yes, sir.
Oh, and, kill these scumbags.
They're already dead, sir.
Well, the general sure did mellow out a lot after he returned to Greenvale. And yes, we are totally having a boss fight against him later. You know where, well, we saw where the general went. He went through that door, and he said he was waiting for Dietrich. Before we go follow him, let's miss jumping that cliff, and try that again. So the general seems quite unforgiving. He also seems quite fond of those gold-plated short rifles of his. I think that's what they are. So, that door he went through, probably going to have to get a disguise to go through them, right? Because there's going to be a guard there. Right, there he is. So, what do we have that we can try? Because we did take a few pictures. Now, who has the authorization to go through that door? Well, we know the general does, at least. Menacing. So let's give that a try, though the general did just go in, so let's see what the guard's reaction will be.
Who are you? General Lysander? He's my commander. I know him anywhere. He did that.
Well, of course that didn't work. Alright, let's stun these guys, and, no, even though we have those guns in this costume, can't actually use them. But we can later on, as those golden guns actually are a bonus weapon that we can get after completing the game. And they're very effective, but we'll see that later. Alright, so we don't have the costume we need to get through there. The general said he was waiting for Dietrich. We have Dietrich's costume data, but not his face data, so we can't actually get past the guard yet. We're gonna have to go find Dietrich and get a shot of his face. We saw that Dietrich was in that one room with the large window, where he was talking to the general. Perhaps he's still there, so let's see if we can make our way over there.
General Lysander has zero tolerance for failure. He hospitalized a guy for a month just because he forgot to salute. He almost snapped the guy's arm off.
Oh yeah, we saw. We saw him just kill a couple guys because they let us escape. So yeah, he is not a soft man, we can see. He has no tolerance at all for incompetence.
No wonder they call this place Dante's Inferno. It's hotter than hell. No one in their right mind would look for us here.
You know, since we are in the middle of this place, well, there's nothing to stop Billy from just killing everyone, is there? I mean, we just saw the general do it. There's no repercussions there. So headshots for everyone. Alright, so we're going back in to the frontline HQ that we saw before, but from a different angle. Now we can actually get to that room we saw Dietrich in.
Is Dietrich Troy still at base HQ? The general is steaming. He's going to blow a gasket if Troy doesn't report.
Hard to say who outranks who here. If the general or Dietrich has the higher rank. You'd think a guy nicknamed the Mastermind would probably be pretty high up. But the general does seem to kind of treat Dietrich like he's the one like the general's the one in command. It's hard to say. Now we need to get a picture of Dietrich's face, but this is going to be tricky because if he looks at us, it's instant game over. There's no opposite wall to put a minicam on, but it is a good thing that there is that guard there. So don't kill that guard, because we need his costume. And if we disguise ourselves as the general or as Dietrich, then yeah, Dietrich still pulls the game over on us. He still calls the guards. So we can't use that. We have to use a generic costume. And this will do fine, even though we don't have the face data. He doesn't notice it. Got it. Now, one other thing that we... hold on, Billy. Uh-oh. Billy's leaving, but he didn't get Dietrich's face... his voice data. Did he? What if he has to talk to the general? But Sheila, of course, will get the voice data.
I see. The missiles have been delivered? Good. Arms them immediately. The CIA is clueless, as usual.
Missiles, huh? Well, we don't really know what they're up to, but the important thing is that we got Dietrich's voice, so we'll be able to talk to the general if we have to. And we know that we did it right because the exciting music is starting. Not a whole lot of music in this game, is there? Mostly ambient noise. I guess that makes things more realistic, but a lot less exciting. And of course, Deadly Premonition, one of the things that carried the game was the music. It would have had a lot less charm without it.
The only way is up. Just remember the firm.
Yeah, no music for Billy. He doesn't get the exciting rock music because we did not get the voice data. Well, Billy should still make it past the guard. He just has to hope he doesn't have to talk to the general.
Jump for it. Take a leap and don't look down.
Before we do that, let's just, yeah, there's a laser turret. So let's just do that before we make that leap. But once we have our meeting with the general, we're going to be able to get access to that biochemical plant where they're producing the lauder. And that is our goal.
You can get further hanging from that. Don't fall. We can't lose you.
Just to jump to the ledge. And of course, our objective once we're in the biochemical plant is to see if we can disrupt that production and perhaps eradicate the lauder that they already have. Because since they killed off Kaysen, do they actually have the means to continue research into lauder if we destroy their production of it? I still think killing off Kaysen was a bad move for Enigma. That seems very silly. Plus, it denied us the chance of a boss battle against him. I would have liked to have seen that. Alright, here we are back at the entryway that the general went through.
Mr. Troy, the prisoner has escaped, sir. The general is furious. Report
Alright, we made it in. So hopefully the general will be the one doing all the talking.
Our prisoner's escaped his cell, but I'm sure he won't get too far. The jungle, the swamp, or the minefield will stop him.
He's more dangerous than you think, Lysander.
I don't have time to chase rats. This operation will not be shut down for one escaped prisoner.
It's not the time to take chances.
Your voice is different. You got a cold or something?
It's nothing, Lysander.
You're the rat!
You could have at least tried to fake the accent.
Our prisoner's escaped his cell. I'm sure he won't get too far. The jungle, the swamp, or the minefield will stop him.
He's more dangerous than you think, Lysander.
I don't have time to chase rats. This operation will not be shut down for one escaped prisoner.
It's not the time to take chances.
All right, then, I'll take care of him. You join up with the troops and carry out our operation.
I think it's best to split up.
Dietrich, double-cross me? You won't live to tell about it.
Don't trust me, do you?
Not even as far as I can throw you. Got that? I'll inspect the biochemical plant and meet with you later.
As you wish.
Alright, we fooled the general, and now our next stop is into the biochemical plant to see if we can disrupt operations, as well as see if we can rescue Nicholas, who still has not been found. Perhaps he's being held in the biochemical plant, even though we were held in a small shack in the middle of the jungle, but maybe Nicholas is inside. So we'll head inside and see if we can find him and see if we can shut down Lauder. Next time on Let's Play Spy Fiction. I'll see you then.